Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Thank you all for being here today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. TGIF. It's Friday. And my vacation is just about over. The week goes really fast. Thank you all for showing up and being here. And even though, I'm not here a specific time, Monday through Friday, but I am here. Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate all of you and all of your support and the fact that you are sharing these videos. Please keep sharing and subscribe to the channel so that you know when I'm on, because you'll always get a notification as to when I'm going to be here. So thank you all for being here. It's been a great day for me, and I'm thankful to God for that because I had some things to do and it turned out really well, and it's really good. So it's a good way to end the week. So how are you guys doing? Share in the comment categories um, if these videos are helping you and what is resonating with you, because I know different stories that I tell about myself and the experiences I've gone through, it all leads back to healing, grief, pain, because all the different little stories connect the dots. Like I talk about the pieces of the puzzle, once you start to put it together, you start to see what the background picture is. That's what this is about. And it's important to do that. It's important, as the pieces come together, you start to say, oh, okay, I see what this is now. And it's a good feeling when you get on this journey to heal. At first it feels weird and awkward, and a lot of pain, a lot of soul searching, etc. But after you get through that period, you know it's like those bricks I talk about. You climb in that mountain or hill, and you have that backpack of bricks, a ton of bricks on your back, and you're trying to walk up this hill, or a mountain, and it's slowing you down tremendously. And once you just throw those bricks off your back, you can walk up that hill upright, you know. Sorry, guys, I gotta sit back some. So you walk up that hill and you feel like a load of relief that's off your back. And that's how I feel as I continue to stay on this path. I have the good days, I have the not so good days, but I do see the progress. It has been slow, but I'm starting, as I don't give up, I start to see more progress, and have not just self love, but inner peace, which is important to get, to the point where we can have inner peace. Because when we have an inner peace, we're unbothered by all this drama and negativity that people are trying to bring to us or situations. So, with that being said, guys, let's get into this topic today. And the title is The Truth That Lies Within. We're going to go a little deep today. So, don't leave me, stay with me here. Because, these things that I talk about, bits and pieces on a daily basis will resonate with some of you, and if today doesn't resonate with you, maybe yesterday or maybe next week. But one of these topics, which is all leading back to healing grief and pain and etc., it all, you know, leads back to, healing grief and pain. But when something resonates with you, I'm sharing that because if it helped me, I'm hoping that these things that help me can help you as well. So take what resonates with you and apply it to your own situation and see if it works for you. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a social worker. I don't have a degree or certification in that category. I'm just someone who went through a lot of trauma, trials, grief, you name it. I've been through it, and I'm here to talk about how I've gotten through those things, especially the loss. When you lose loved ones, you have a hole, a void within you, that seems to die with them, when they pass away, that void, you know, which will always be there, but you can get through the pain and the grief of it and never put your life on hold. Allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to acknowledge that your loved ones are not here anymore, but don't stay in a place of grief and pain because it leads to depression and stagnation. And we don't want to see anyone stay in that place. And think of it in this on these terms too. This is what my therapist used to tell me a lot in the beginning of my grief and anger and all of the emotions that built up. He used to tell me, which is true, my mother would never want me to stay in a place of grief and depression and sadness for the rest of my life. She would want me to embrace my life to the fullest and keep her memory alive, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm on this channel to help other people. In the beginning, I used to be mad at God a lot, and I used to just didn't care anymore, and I was angry, and I was in that place of anger and bitterness for about almost a year until I really started to look at myself and do the work and to look at my inner child and see why I was in this place. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But for those who are going through that, you have my condolences. Please take a time out. If you need time to yourself, do that and tell people, that you just need a time out. Because when you're going through that grief and depression and all of those things take a toll on your body, your physical and mental health. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Put yourself as a priority as you go through these things. So, with that being said, let's get into this topic of discussion, the truth that lies within. Um, has anyone noticed that in the world today that we live in, the society that we live in today, is different from those who are, back from the 80s, 70s, even early 90s? You guys see how things change in this world today. I graduated in the 80s from high school. Um, Not telling my age, but anyway, things back then was a little different than it is now. Now what you see is fake love, fake friends, fake hugs, fake kisses, fake this, fake that. What is real today? And it seems like that's becoming the norm, all this fakeness. For me, love and being my authentic self is the key factor, because I don't want fake anything. That's not going to work for me. Anything fake, I don't want it. They can keep it. I love everything authentic and real. If a person is not real, if a situation is not real, I don't want it. And I guess that's why I just take my time with everything. I associate fakeness, and this is just me, people. I associate fakeness with lies. And, because you really don't know how these people feel about you, if it's fake. I have notes again. If it's fake, you really don't know what's going on with the person. Also, it makes me think about what is their truth? What lies within that individual? What is their truth that makes them want to be fake? What are they running away from that's within themselves? That's what I think about when I see all this fakeness. What is their truths? And what are they not um, facing up to? I remember some past relationships a while back that seemed real, but the love was not what it should have been. And today, anything I do, whether it's a relationship, friendship, whatever it is, I take my time because I want to find out the intentions of others. Are their intentions pure or impure? And that's something that's a priority to me when getting to know people. What are their true intentions and what lies behind those intentions? I often wonder, What makes a person a pathological liar? What happens in a life of an individual that makes them become a pathological liar and to believe their lies and to circulate lies about other people? What happened to them that make them so broken within that they have to do this? Um, Once I ended a relationship, no, once I'm going to talk about like me, how I was subservient to a lot of people, a lot of relationships and situations because I wanted these people to, love me and like me. When I was growing up, let's go back, when I was a teenager. Um, I have three siblings, sisters, and my sisters, one in particular, was very popular. In school, she had all these friends, boyfriends too, and all of this. She was popular. The phone would ring all the time, off the hook for her. Her and my one of my other sisters too. They were just really popular, and I was the nerdy one always. I'll give you an example. Like they would be watching Soul Train, right? And you know how I don't know if many of you know about Soul Train and the dance they do down the line. They would be into that while I was into American Bandstand. The only time I would watch Soul Train if one of um, the singers on there that I like was going to be on there. If Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson or somebody was going to be on there, I was going to watch it for that reason, or Prince or something like that. But I always was the one who watched American Bandstand. And while they were watching certain things, I was watching a lot of nerdy things, and it's just me. I've always been that way. Even in school, I was the one that people would cheat off of, and ask questions about the work and this and that because I love to read. And I did my homework. I, got into things, and but I wasn't popular with people. And now, when we have this online, what is it, class reunion, and so I have some pictures of myself posted on there, and they remember me, the old Lisa, how I was in high school. When I graduated, guys, I must have been about like 95 pounds. And I was 17 when I graduated from high school. And, I was the nerdy one, and people didn't notice me. They didn't notice me as much because I was so different in high school. And when they see pictures of me now, I'm pretty sure some of them watch this now, they know about this channel. It's like, oh my God, how did she change so much? Because I was so different, guys. And so they were like, oh, what happened? And for me, it just, things changed, and I still like the nerdy things. I watch the Big Bang Theory and I laugh, and certain things I like, where growing up, my son would say, oh, wow, he, he could tell that I, nerdy stuff that I like. But I've always been that way and reading books and things like that. So I'm saying all of this because when I did have a boyfriend at one time, um, there was this guy I really liked. He seemed to be a little nerdy too with the glasses and stuff. And dated him off and on for about 2 or 3 years, but was, I really thought I was going to marry him. I was talking about kids and stuff and found out he didn't want any kids. And I thought, because we were both young, oh yeah, that's going to change. That's going to change because I want two, and I always said I wanted two kids. And after that, that's it. And I had it all planned out, guys. This is what's going to happen. And my insecurities stem from way back then because he left me, and the way he did it, it was just, he came over to the house. Thank goodness my mother can't see this video. I probably get smacked upside my head, but she worked that night. And he came over on I think it was, yeah, Friday night. um came over. My mom was at work, and I was the only one home because I was the last one to leave home because my two sisters are older. So anyway, he comes over and making sure she was gone, and he came over, and I thought, we are gonna have a nice evening, whatever. Get your minds out of the gutter, people. Not like that. Anyway, so I'm telling the story here because um, I'm thinking we were going to make plans to do things because, okay, we have this plan. And he came over to break up with me. And I was devastated. I didn't see that coming at all. I felt like that came out of left field. What? Say what? And I was devastated. And not only did he break up with me, but he stayed all night on the couch consoling me until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and said, I'm sorry, I got to do this. But why do you have to do it? What did I do? Not that you did something and blah, blah. And then, like maybe a month later, I found out he was dating somebody else and somebody I knew in passing. And it was just, ugh, I can't even explain like how much that bothered me. It was just really trying to fix myself up here. Um, it really bothered me. Like it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. And it's like, um, you know, that really started my insecurities when it came to relationships. Because I don't know or didn't know why. We were young and stuff, but I thought, he was really into me and we were, and I was devastated for a long time. I went into this more so of a withdrawal, and I stayed there for a long time, and I dated a little bit in the future, later on, but it was just, I don't know, that just left me like insecure about myself. And when I went into other relationships, I became subservient, especially the relationships, the 10-year relationship too. I was subservient. Even before then, I was in a few relationships and I was just subservient because maybe if I do A, B, C, and D, and if I do it like this relationship will last and it's A, B, C, and D. But I didn't realized that I didn't need to change who I was. I just needed to be me, my authentic self. And if people don't accept it, the least I am today is say, okay, then you're not the one for me. It's okay. See you. It's been real, and I'm unbothered. I have feelings, of course, I'm human, but I don't react the same as I used to. I remember one time when I was 26 years old and I met someone who's a lot older than me, and we were dating. And after 6 months, I'm being broken up with again. And I never in my life felt this kind of pain. This was worse. And I'm begging and saying, please let us try to work this out. I can be this. I can be whatever you want. And I look back at that and I said that was a lesson that I didn't learn, because I had to go through that a few more times before I got it right. You know, life is life is a season, reason, a lifetime, or a lesson. And I had to learn these lessons, and that, the insecurities were piling up on me as I continued to go through these things, and people were breaking up with me. And it's like, and then a person, this particular person told me I was boring. And I was like, boring? I'm boring? And then added to my insecurities and stuff. And until I start to do the work, the 10-year relationship, I was subservient, doing everything, and it was just toxic, full of toxicity. But as I start to do the work, and I didn't really start, even though I was doing therapy, I didn't really start to do work until after my mom died. So after my mom passed away is when I really start to look within. What's wrong with me? Why am I allowing this? Why are these things happening? And what I realized through therapy, people, is that I was dealing with narcissists. you know. As I got older, narcissistic individuals and narcissists bring toxicity and abuse and lies and etc. And then one relationship that didn't last, and it took me, with somebody who I thought I was going to marry, who I was really, really into, and that broke my heart. Um, when I found out what was truly going on. And, people can tell me things, but I'm a type of person, I like to find the proof. If I don't see the proof, it's going to be hard for me to. But when I saw the proof from the phone, I was like devastated. And, even then I was trying to say, listen, let's do couples therapy and let's try this. And when the person didn't show up for the couples therapy, actually, what happened is, once again, I was broken up with. And it took me a while to get through it. And then, dating again and, not giving myself the proper time to, do the work, because I would date, but, just casual dating or whatever, trying to get to know someone. But I needed to do work on myself so I can heal those hurts and pains. So I started to do the work after that. But after that particular relationship ended, the person started spreading lies and rumors. And I'm like, this is a pathological liar. This person is just a pathological liar, because saying vicious things that I would never do. Because they would break up with me, get back together. Well, first break up with me, go date a few other people. And then when that didn't work out, come back, break up, come back, blah, blah. But there comes a time where the breakup is permanently. And the last time is when I saw the proof. And I said, this is not happening anymore. And then when they broke up with me, it was for the last time. When they came back, there was no returning. I said, I don't want this anymore, you know. And then, I eventually started to do the work to heal from that as well. And as I did the work, I started to love on myself and realize I don't have to be subservient to anybody. I don't have to like twist myself inside and out like a pretzel. I don't have to mold myself into a piece of clay for the benefit of anybody else. All I had to do is be my authentic self. And if the people didn't like my authentic self, then they were not right for my life, and leave it where it is. But what was happening as I was healing and doing the work and working on myself, these people tried to come back. And then when they couldn't come back like they used to, in and out, they just started becoming vicious, and a mask fell off. And I started to see the truth that lies within these individuals, to see who these people were behind the mask. These pathological lies, telling these lies and making other people believe them, and believing these lies of things that never happened, delusional stuff. And I started to say, what makes this person become a pathological liar? And then I think about narcissists, and I start to do research on what a narcissist is. Someone who plays mind games, someone who likes to be in control of other people's lives and get people to, you know, do their bidding like a puppet on a string. And that's how that is. And I started to realize this is not what I want in my life. And I had to work hard to overcome it. And the lies used to bother me. Why would someone say certain things I'm not going to even repeat here? You can just imagine. And these are things I never have done and I would never do because it's not who I am. And it was just trying to make me look cheap and etc. And it took a lot for me to overcome the pain associated with that. And then I started to research pathological liars. And people do things because they're broken within, and they're not doing the work to heal. And so when they are broken within and they're not nurturing their inner child and they're not healing, then they are in a place of brokenness, and misery loves company, and they want to pull other people into that. And then I start to wonder what has happened to these people that make them feel so broken that they want to break everybody else. They want to lie. They want to do all these toxic things. It's important to heal these things. And it doesn't make us weak because we're healing. healing is the key factor here, because if you don't heal these things that feels broken within, then it's just going to get worse over time, and nothing grows from it. You can't evolve, you can't grow, because you're not healing, and it's better to heal these things, so that hurt people hurt other people. And when people are in a place like this, I leave them there, because we all have a choice of what to do, a decision, whether we want to heal or not, whether and one of the places I suggest is therapy. And it doesn't mean you're crazy or something wrong with you, as some people may think. It's important, and no one's playing with your mind in there, because the pain and the grief and all that hurt and all the ball of whatever that's going on has to come out, and talking to a therapist, that's one place of an outlet of the pain. Because if you have all these pains and you've been taught, like I was as a kid, what goes on in this house stays in this house. No, then how can you heal that? If you had traumatic things happen to you as you were growing up, and if you don't heal that, you don't talk about it, and you don't have to talk about it with the whole world. You have therapy. You start, small, and then as you do the work, you figure out the other things, creatively. I heal myself with music, positive, uplifting videos, and all these things. As you do the work, and time spent alone taking care of myself, nurturing myself, my inner child, all those things build me up. And then keeping toxicity at a bay, and just acquiring inner peace after doing these things, and persevering through it, making sure I continue to take care of myself and loving on myself. Self-love leads to self-care, and then self-care leads to inner peace. And when you have that, you're unbothered by all these things that other people are doing, because I realize that they are in a place of toxicity, but they're choosing to stay there instead of healing. And I leave them there, and I continue on this path, and, the truth that lies within is that people are broken within, and they have things within themselves that are unhealed. And if they don't heal these things, this is what happens. People, I feel is fake this, fake that, because they're covering up what is within. And in order for us to grow and evolve, and to heal these things, we have to have an outlet. Like I said, therapy is one outlet, music. If you have a good friend that you just can talk to, and they can listen, they can't change things, but listen, and doing the work to take care of your physical and mental health, meaning that every day you must spend some time, have some me time to yourself, 1 hour, whatever it is, enough time to do something uplifting for yourself. And as you start to do that and persevere through all the feelings and pains and etc., it helps. And what I do is meditation and prayer. All those things help too. And I stay close to God. And when I feel a certain way, I ask God to help me. And I also do a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music. That's important. People, we can't, if we don't help ourselves, other people can't help us. Even God can't help us. So we have to take a step. And as we take a step, ask God to help us. And as He see us persevering and being persistent, even though we're going to fall down, we're going to get back up again. He will help us take another step, because He's going to take 2 and 3 as we take a step. Learn to love yourself, and learn to love your own company at times. Because when you love on you, you're not afraid to be alone. Because as you build yourself up, and when you meet people, you're going to be the best version of yourself, and that's so important. So it's important to make good decisions for yourself, moving forward, and never be ashamed of it. Never be ashamed of anything that's going to help you grow and evolve. It's better to be at peace than to be in pieces. That's the message today. And it's also best to have real love, someone who loves you for you, and not trying to mold you into something that they want you to be. Be yourself. And if people can't accept you for who you are, then they're not right for your life. And I had to learn this as well. Instead of being subservient to others and twisting myself around like oppressive, I know I'm worth it. Look, when you get up in the morning, thank God every day for allowing you to see another day, and look in the mirror and say, I'm worth it. It doesn't matter if these people don't like A, B, C, and D. I'm worth it. Love on yourself. Love yourself. It doesn't mean to be in love with yourself, but love yourself enough to nurture your inner child that's traumatized by pains and hurts of the past, and grow and evolve. Build yourself up. Spend time alone when it's necessary. All these things build up not only your character, but your mental and physical health. That's so important, people. That's the message today. Share this with other people, because some people are out there grieving. They're in a space of grief and pain with no one to talk to, and they're getting deeper and deeper into depression. Invite people to this channel because they can privately listen to this. And perhaps some of the things I'm sharing about my own experiences will help them. It will resonate with them and help them with their own situations as well. That's the key factor here, to build up. This is a no judgment zone. We're here to help other people to grow, evolve, learn, and then pass it and pay it forward to others. That's the message today. Happy Friday again to you guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Thank you for being here. I'll see you Monday. Bye for now. This is Lisa, shedding love and light to you always.